Hey cats and chicks, Sitback Rocker here, and today I'm going to be covering through all 14 Greaser movies I have seen from the earliest of the earliest to the current and most recent Greaser movie I've seen. Get this fucking controller out of the way. There we go. Alright, so we're going to start things off because we got a lot to cover here. So we're going to start things off with the earliest Greaser film that I know of. And that is The Wild One, 1954, Marlon Brando. Great fucking film. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's the earliest Greaser film I know of. Like, I don't know of any other film earlier about greasers and, that kind of scene than Marlon Brando's movie, The Wild One, 1954. Seen it countless of times. Fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you check it out. I can't find it on DVD. I can only find it, on, websites, like on my TV. It's kind of hard to find on DVD, but if I can, one day I'd like to buy it. But yeah, Wild One 1954, Marlon Brando. I'm not going to tell you too much because I don't want to spoil it, but I will give you the clues that it is about, well, actually, nah, I'm not going to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it and make anybody mad. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Moving on. Okay, another classic, 1955, James Dean, Rebel Without a Cause. Another classic movie every greaser knows about, right? Apart from Marlon Brando's movie as well. Another one of the earliest greaser films I know. James Dean was excellent in this movie. He portrayed of what a rebel is supposed to be, He did a really good job with this film. And I really like the work. I recently watched this movie the other day. But very good movie all the way, though. James Dean did an excellent job. The actors did an excellent job. Very realistic to what greasers and what, inner city gangs were like back in the 50s and whatnot. Really good movie. Go check it out. Rebel Without a Cause, James Dean. Okay, moving on. Number 3, the third greaser movie I've seen so far. Blackboard Jungle. I want to say this is 1958. I don't honestly remember the exact year. 58, 59, I want to say. And this movie I also liked a lot about, inner city gangs and, about this teacher who, comes to this classroom and tries to teach the kids. I'm not going to spoil anything else other than that. Just a really good movie overall about juvenile delinquency and greasers and, the whole, you get it, right? Moving on. Okay, next, 1961, Young Savages. I like this movie, but, it's not my favorite. I would say it was a solid film, And this is the only 60s movie I know about greasers. Like, I don't know any other 60s movie other than The Young Savages. It's the only one I know of from the 60s. But yeah, Young Savages, 1961. Not my favorite, but I liked it. It was a good movie. It wasn't my favorite greaser film that I've ever seen, but I liked it, About greasers, it's about, just greaser gangs in general, and, that whole bit, and, being rebellious, doing your thing, all that good stuff, man. Check it out. Yeah, really good movie. Not my favorite, but I like it, Next up, start to get in the 70s, Lords of Flatbush, 1974. Really good movie. This is probably by far one of my favorite greaser films I've ever seen. And it has two of the most famous actors, probably of all time, apart from Marlon Brando and James Dean. Alright? Henry Winkler, also known as the Fonzie from Happy Days, is in there. That's where he started his career, was with the Lord of Flatbush movie. And also Sylvester Stallone is in there as well. Really good film. I recommend you check it out. Lord of Flatbush, 1974. But yeah, moving on, because there's still a lot to cover. Alright, a movie I'm not too much of a fan of. 1978, Grease. We all know I don't like Grease. I've said it multiple times. I still don't like it. It will never change for me to like it. Not much of a musical person in general. Never really much of a musical movie person. And I was not a fan of Grease when I seen it for the first time either. But it is a Greaser film related here on Greasers, so I figure I have to cover it. You know, it's a movie I've seen before, not one that I like, but I've seen it, so I figured I have to put it in here. All right, 1980. All right, Grease 2. I know, another bummer movie I did not like or care for, but I figured same thing with Grease. Even though I don't like it, it's a movie that, you know, I guess depicts Greasers in a way. I don't know. I have to put it in here though. I've only seen it one time and I was not a fan of it. Moving on. Okay, 1983, The Outsiders. Good film. You know, everybody, even if you're not a greaser, everyone in their mom has seen The Outsiders, you know. Like in every middle school, like as soon as you get to middle school, at least for me, you know, we read the book and watched the movie. Some people watch the movie and read the book in high school. For me, I read the book and watched the movie in middle school. I want to say about like 7th grade. I watched, you know, exactly then, I would say. Overall, great film, you know. You can't go wrong with it. It does a really good job of depicting what, you know, the 50s was like, you know. That tough greaser hoodlum thing, did a really good job of that. Overall, good movie. And a lot of famous actors in there as well, alright? Everybody has seen The Outsiders. If you haven't seen it, well, you're going to see it eventually when you get into middle high school years. It's a thing that I think is required from schools to show The Outsiders. But great film, though. I like it a lot. I recommend you check it out if you haven't seen it. Alright, let me think here. If there's anything else I'm missing. Did I cover? No, I did not. I completely left that out. Alright. Let's go back a little bit. 1979. Alright. American Graffiti, 1979. We're going back a little bit. Not my favorite greaser film. I was not a fan of it. I couldn't get into American Graffiti. Some people like it. I could not get into it. I found it kind of boring, honestly. I like the music sections in there, but I was not a fan of American Graffiti. I couldn't get into it. Just me personally. That's just me. You like what you like. I was never a fan of it too much when I seen it. Also in 1979, The Wanderers. Really good film. Alright? It's kind of, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but it's about, you know, the greasers versus the skinheads and, you know, all the stuff about gang-related stuff, and, you know, it's a really good film, though. I recommend you guys watch it. It's starting to become possibly one of my next favorite greaser films, apart from The Lords of Flatbush and, you know, obviously the Wild Ones, stuff like that. And I watched it for the first time the other day, ever, and it was a really good film. I recommend you guys go check it out. The Wanderers, 1979. And you can check out American Graffiti if you want to, see if you like it. I was not a fan of it, though. Moving on, though, to the next greaser film that I am aware of from watching, and that would be 1987, La Bamba. You know, the Richie Valens story. You know, it talks about Richie Valens' life, and unfortunately his death that happened when he was just 17 years old. Really good stuff. Does a really good job of telling about his story in life. Go check it out. La Bamba, 1987. So now we're back in the 80s, you know. Another movie that I don't know the exact year when it came out, but I thought I'd bring it up too. The Buddy Holly story. Really good movie as well, you know. Talks about Buddy Holly's story and his life and how he got into the music scene and the rock and roll scene. All that good stuff. It talks about it. Go check it out. The Buddy Holly story. Really good film. Alright, next, 1990, Crybaby, Johnny Depp. I like Crybaby. Some people didn't like it. I thought it was a pretty good film, you know. The music was great, really good rockabilly, old school sounding stuff in there, you know. And I think Johnny Depp did a really good job at portraying a greaser. I mean, he really did, you know. Some people don't like this because, you know, they kind of consider some of it as a musical. Some of it does sound like a musical, but it's really good stuff, man. I recommend check it out. Crybaby 1990 with Johnny Depp. Really good film. Not my favorite, but I do prefer it, and I do like it a lot. But yeah. Okay, so the next film we're going to get into here, getting close to the end here. The next film we're going to get into is current day Greaser movie. Elvis 2022. This is the most current Greaser related film that I know of. I know Jerry Lee Lewis had a movie too. I have not seen it yet though. I'll have to check up on it and watch it soon. But the Elvis movie of 2022, have to mention that. Really good film. I have it on Blu-ray. I've seen it like 7 times. A really good film overall. I love the movie. It's really good. Austin Butler, good job with the film. Appreciate it, what you did. Did a really good job of showing Elvis's life throughout the years and how he became, poor to one of the top superstars of all time. Really good film. But yeah, so that is kind of all the Greaser films I know of and have seen. From the 50s all the way to current day in 2022. If you like this, let me know in the comments below what you thought. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.